My name is Jacob Zemer, and I've been an online coach for the past 10 years. And over those 10 years, I've helped thousands of people remotely throughout the United States get in the best shape of their life. Today, we're going to talk about 3 low-calorie, high-protein, high-fiber dinner options that are incredibly convenient to make. I'm a lifestyle coach. I don't work with 20-year-old meatheads. I work with real people who have careers and families and whose first and foremost priority is not fitness. And oftentimes, their first and foremost priority isn't even themselves. But in order to be an asset to your family, to your career, you need to arrive as your best self. So today, we're going to talk about meals that are not going to only help you hit your nutrition goals, but also are going to allow you to enjoy them with your family. These are meals that I would actually sit down and have with my kids because I myself am 42 years old. I have children at home. And on top of coaching clients online, shooting social media, I also semi-private train clients in Larchmont, New York, a studio outside of New York City. So we're going to talk today about 3 low-calorie, high-protein, high-fiber dinner options that are going to help you achieve your fitness goals. Meal number 1 is a chicken sandwich with French fries. We look at each of these meals, we're going to talk about 3 aspects. The first is convenience, the second is nutrition, and the third is taste. How are we going to make this meal convenient? We're going to preheat our oven. We're going to grab a couple of sheet pans. And we're going to take our protein source, in this case, chicken breast, place it on one of the sheet pans. And on the second sheet pan, we're going to take pre-cut fries, vegetable of our choice. I'm using broccoli florets. It's already cut up for me. Put my seasoning on it. I love lemon pepper on my chicken. I also like this chili lime by Trader Joe's, but you can use whichever seasoning you like on your fries, on your chicken breast. Toss them in the oven, set the timer, and come back when they're done. That's how we're gonna make this meal convenient. Getting into the nutrition, looking at the chicken breast, we have 120 calories with 25 grams of protein. Take the protein, add a 0 to it. Does it have that many calories or less? This is 120 calories. It passes our protein test, which is going to allow us to keep our calories down while hitting our protein goal. When looking at the fries, the reason that I suggest buying pre-cut fries is simply it's way more convenient, but we want to be careful because a lot of pre-cut fries, it has a lot of fat from the oil added to it. It's going to be a lot of additional calories. This only has 2.2 grams of fat, which means it's only adding 20 calories. This is strong roots. They're proper fries. Vegetable, as I mentioned, is broccoli. It's rich in fiber and it's rich in antioxidants such as sulforaphane. Final touch of nutrition is going to be a high fiber bun. We want something that has at least 1 gram of fiber per 10 calories. These 647 buns, they have 90 calories, 9 grams of fiber. Sola, Hero, Royo, there's a lot of high fiber buns in the market. Just make sure for every 10 calories it has at least 1 gram of fiber. Then getting into the taste, it is all about the sauces, baby. We've got Flavor Gang. I really like their sauces. We've got Joey Swole's. I enjoy their sauces. G. Hughes makes an awesome sauce. Primal Kitchen, as long as the calories are in the right place, they have great condiments. This is 25 calories per tablespoon. I would recommend that you buy condiments that have less than 30 calories per tablespoon. And then when it comes to barbecue, I believe that Ray's no sugar added is the GOAT. You could even put some of this on your broccoli if you really want to tempt your kids into eating it. I also like to add either pickles or some jalapenos to my chicken sandwich. That's dinner option number 1.
My name's Jacob Zemer. I'm going to take 45 seconds to tell you about my coaching program. I've helped thousands of people with real lives lose real weight. You can go to jacobzemer.com to learn more. There are 4 major tenets of my coaching program. The first is that we give you macros. It's calories, protein, and fiber. That's all we're concerned about, along with custom meal templates. We also are going to build you a custom program on my app. My app includes over 1,000 videos. So regardless what space you have or what goals you have, my app can help you train better. We also are going to create a cardiovascular program for you on the app as well, along with step goals. And fourth, you're going to go see your doctor, you're going to get your labs done, and we're going to walk you through the proper preventative health based on your family history. This is my coaching program that's helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life.
Option number 2 is going to be a seafood pasta. We're going to go with shrimp or scallops because of the convenient aspect. We're going to take 2 pots, fill them with water, bring them to a boil. One pot's got your protein source. The other pot has your high fiber pasta. Set the timer, very convenient. Looking at the nutrition aspect, shrimp and scallops both pass our protein test, but we want to make sure that we get wild-caught shrimp. This is frozen because when I was at the grocery store, all of their fresh shrimp was farm-raised. I always go with wild-caught over farm-raised, and the primary reason is due to metallics. You want to be mindful. Seafood is incredibly rich in omega-3s. However, it comes with a cost benefit, and that is the metallics that are found in seafood. Looking at our pasta, I have a complete YouTube reviewing all the high fiber pastas on the market if you have not checked it out. Looking at my two favorite options, we've got Goodles. This is 180 calories, 10 grams of protein with 7 grams of fiber. Looking at Brahmi, this is 200 calories, 12 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber. Both of these taste awesome, and both of them have fantastic macros when it comes to high fiber pastas. What I like to do is squeeze some lemon over top of it with a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil is very caloric, so just be mindful of that. However, it is incredibly rich in monounsaturated fat, and monounsaturated fat is very good for cognitive and heart health. In terms of taste, you may have to use some sort of pasta sauce in order to seduce your kids into eating it. But for yourself, I really recommend going with the lemon, going with the olive oil. I personally think it tastes great. If you want to add some garlic to it, cook it up in the pot and throw it over top, I really think it tastes fantastic. Option number 3 is going to be a protein bowl or a protein wrap. Of the 3 meals that we discussed today, this is the least convenient because you're going to be cooking on your stove beans, ground meat, and a vegetable. It's going to require you to stir periodically. It simply has more touch points than the other meals. However, I believe that you can cook this meal in under 20 minutes. And so for that reason, I categorize it as a convenient meal. Looking at the nutrition, I have ground meat in front of me. This is ground beef, 93.7. When we look at ground meat options, we want something that's 93.7 or greater so that it is a lean protein source. This has 3 grams of saturated fat per 4 ounces. In order to be a lean protein source, it must have less than 4 grams saturated fat per 4 ounces. When you eat a lot of animal protein throughout the day, your saturated fat intake is going to accumulate. And for that reason, we want to be selecting lean protein choices. Looking at my bean here, I picked black beans, pinto beans, northern beans, whatever bean you like. They're all very high in fiber. When it comes to vegetables, I have spinach. It's very low in calories, very high in fiber, and then peppers and onions because I just enjoy the taste of them along with a protein bowl or a protein wrap that's using ground meat. If you're going to do a wrap, I have Mission Carb wraps here. They're 70 calories, 17 grams of fiber, which is a tremendous amount of fiber for 70 calories. If you have room for more calories, you can always add avocado to it, which is very high in monounsaturated fat, which is a fat that's good for our cognitive health and good for our heart health. However, it is very caloric. So with the wrap, on top of the beans, on top of the avocado, this might be a little too heavy in calories for you. With the bowl, I think you can definitely add some avocado to it. However, everyone's caloric needs differ from person to person. For some of you, the ideal dinner may be around 400 calories. For others of you, it may be around 700 calories. When it comes to taste, I think it's all about seasoning. If you've got kids, taco seasoning is a softball. It's a great way to make the meal taste delicious. For me, I have a little bit more of a sophisticated palate. I really like Mushroom and Company by Trader Joe's. I also like spicy things, so curcumin or some red pepper flakes. I also like to use garlic salt or onion powder. At the end of the day, if you're gonna have a sustainable diet, you have to enjoy your meals. So simply find seasonings that you enjoy on ground meat. My name is Jacob Ziemer. On this channel, we talk a lot about nutrition. We also talk about weight training, going to see your doctor, proper health metrics. I have helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. Real people with careers and families. If you want to learn more about my coaching services, you can go to jacobziemer.com. Each week here on YouTube, I put out at least one piece of long format content, short format content on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok daily. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you like what you saw, hit subscribe.